What's up, YouTube? I'm Brett from Rants. As always, guys, if y'all enjoy our content, don't forget to like, subscribe, and leave that comment down below. We're on the road to 1,000. We hope you guys can help us get there. Alright, so today we're going to be doing a reaction video over the new Black Widow trailer. If y'all watch any of our videos here on Rants, you probably know I'm not a huge Black Widow fan. But from what I've seen so far, it actually looks pretty good. So I'm a little bit excited to see what the trailer is going to be like. So, without further ado, let's get right into the trailer, and I'll give y'all my thoughts afterwards.
You don't know everything about me. I've lived a lot of lives. Before I was an Avenger. Before I got this family. I made mistakes choosing between what the world wants you to be.
That scene right there. Again, like I've said, I'm not a huge Black Widow fan, but that scene with her when in her dying moments was just literally heartbreaking. That was the one time that I actually broke down in tears when I was watching one of those Marvel movies. That was one of the more sentimental scenes that was in the MCU altogether. I kind of saw the Iron Man dying at the end of this, and it was sad on that, but something about this particular scene gets me every single time I see it.
Who you are.
Her and Hawkeye just played so well together.
We have to go back to where it all started.
Where did you think I was all this time?
We have unfinished business.
My girls are the toughest girls in the world.
I'm sorry. We had our orders and we played our roles.
It wasn't real.
It was real to me. To me, you were everything.
Bring her home.
Put your seatbelts on. She's such a mom. One thing's for sure. I'm done running from my past.
Okay, so there were some really cool things in that trailer. Really sad stuff. Of course, by now we are very familiar with Natashas Story. At least, the backstory of it, not maybe the full details of it. She was basically a spy transplant here in the United States, and it looks like she was, she was a part of this family, with Yelena Belova and the Red Guardian. Which is going to just, his character is going to be just amazing, I think, in this. David Harbour is a great actor. I love him on Stranger Things. I think he wasn't the best Hellboy, but come on, he didn't have much to work with when it come to that movie. But as far as Natasha's role in this, when she's talking to Yelena Belova and she's like, she's talking to her mother in there. I don't know what her mother's name in this, or her adopted mother, I guess you could say, in this. And she's saying, well, hey, this family that we had wasn't real. That's kind of a sad moment because, when Yelena, when she says, it was real to me. You can imagine what it was like for these young children. They're put in this program, and they're having to, these children, they're not accustomed to family. They've been trained and raised a specific way, and then they get in this family, and that family is all they know. So when she says that, she's like, "It was real to me." That's some really heart wrenching moment right there. Um, because these hardcore spies, that we see, in this program. I mean, they're battle tested. That's all they know. They're basically programmed to be fighters. That's sad when you hear one of them actually going so far to say, it was real to her. And Natasha having to come to the realization that, what, even though that was a fake family, it was still the only family that she knew, and it was people that cared about her. That's what David Harbour's character is going to be playing in this, is a real father figure character to him. And of course, as Red Guardian, he is basically the Soviet version of Captain America. Just a fatter, probably heavy drinker, more more version of Captain America. Basically, everything that Captain America is not, he is. But he's got that super strength. So it's gonna be kind of cool to see him go against Taskmaster, which for many of y'all, if y'all aren't familiar with Taskmaster, he's actually a really interesting character. I know he looks like a G.I. Joe villain, but he is really cool. Not gonna say that I really like his the way they his look in the film necessarily. I thought they maybe could have done a better job. He kind of looks really cybernetic a little too much. For those of y'all who don't really know who he is and his skills, is he's basically somebody that's got like this memory that when he sees somebody else doing specific moves, he has the ability to recreate those moves, and basically be able to, since he can recreate them perfectly, like the original person that he's fighting, he can determine exactly what their weaknesses are. So he's going to be a really, really hard villain to bring down. So I'm kind of excited that they're actually going to put him in there. Not really quite sure what his connection with the Black Widow program will actually be, because if I'm not mistaken, he's American. So I don't exactly know how Dreykov has him working for him. So I mean, we'll just have to see in that. But it could be just a mercenary that Dreykov's hired. But Dreykov actually, he's going to be the puppet master behind anything that goes on in this movie. He's trying to bring Natasha back into the fold, it looks like. But overall, I mean, it looked amazing. The fight scenes looked amazing. Like I said, that moment with Hawkeye and Black Widow, when they're fighting to find out who's going to die, that is a moment that just every time that I see it, it's like a gut punch, because it was those two characters, while they weren't my favorite Avengers, either one of them, they had great chemistry together. And it was just sad that it was the two of them that had to be placed in that one role, where one had to die. And it was just like I said, it was, to me, it was the saddest moment in the MCU. And I know a lot of y'all are going to be like, what about Iron Man? And that was sad too, but that was kind of expected. I mean, I think we all kind of knew that he was going to die at the end of that movie. So I mean, he went out fighting Thanos. He did his job, but I just thought Scarlett Johansson did a great job as Black Widow. Even though, like I said, not a huge fan of the character in general, simply because we have a god, we have a guy in an iron suit, we have a Hulk, and then we have Hawkeye and Black Widow, which to me just kind of felt a little average. When you're comparing, the others, I get it. They all supposed to have their unique abilities and things, and they did. But when you're fighting somebody like Thanos, there was only so much that those two really could do. It really come down to the big boys when it come to the Hulk, and Thor and so forth fighting Captain America, fighting Thanos. So I mean, I don't want to diminish her role and Hawkeye's role in those films because they did play a very vital importance when it comes to those films, but still, they just weren't that interesting to me. But this movie, I'm really curious to see how it's going to tie into Phase 4 of the MCU because this movie is kind of, the backstory. She's already dead in the MCU. So, how are they going to tie this into what is going on now with, let's say, the Falcon and the Winter Soldier? I'm assuming it's got to do with the serum with the super soldiers. That's the only really real connection I can think of, especially with the Red Guardian being in there. And she does have a specific amount of that. It's just a kind of a watered down version of that same serum. So I mean, it's going to be interesting how they're going to try to tie that maybe into what's going on in the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't think there'll be any real connections between Black Widow and WandaVision. But as far as Falcon and Winter Soldier, I think, yeah, it's going to just go right into this movie. But, since they've had to switch everything around, I just wonder if everything was in the proper order, would it have been a tie-in to what we see in the Falcon and Winter Soldier instead of the other way around? Like, would it have been a better set of pieces, basically, where it would have given you more hints into what was going on in the Falcon and Winter Soldier, or does it work vice versa? So we'll just have to see which one works. I know, these last 2 years have been really hard on Marvel, trying to switch up all this, their series, their movies, trying to get everything, all their eggs into one basket. So I mean, we'll just have to see how it ends up on the on the silver screen. Of course, we'll also be able to see it, if I'm not mistaken, on Disney Plus as well. So we'll just have to see. Overall, it was an interesting trailer. I did enjoy it. I think Taskmaster is going to be a really cool villain. Don't really like his look too much. Of course, Dreykov being in it, like I said, he's going to be the puppet master behind all of it. That one Yelena Belova, comment about it was real to her and that family, that was really sad. David Harbour is going to do his part. He's always going to be funny. He's always going to, play that really great sentimental role, kind of like what he does in Stranger Things, kind of as a father figure to Natasha. So we'll just have to see. It does have some really great pieces. Scarlett Johansson's always been great as Black Widow, so we'll just have to see how well this movie actually does. I personally will watch it, but I'm not going to say that I'm overly excited to see this movie. Of course, here on Rants or Us, once it comes out in July, we will definitely review it. And if there's any news that comes out from here to July, we will definitely cover it here on Rants or Us as well. But overall, the trailer looks great, but I don't think it really moved me on whether or not I really want to see this movie or not. I will watch it, but I'm not still overly excited about it, even though I think Taskmaster is going to be a really cool villain in this. But we'll just have to see, guys. Let us know what y'all think in the comment section. And as always, guys, thanks for watching. Y'all